So hi, I'm Sarah, and this I guess is my endometriosis story and my surgery, and I'm going to be talking about everything basically to where I am right now. So ever since I had my period, so I got my period when I was in grade 6, so I think I was at 12. I have had horrible pains, like horrible pains. I've always been bawling to tears. My parents, like my dad would be like rubbing my legs, my mum would be rubbing my back, and I always had pain in my stomach and my back, and I'd always have to have a heat pack on my stomach and my back, and no medications helped me. I couldn't Panadol, Nurofen, nothing, until a couple of years went by, and what actually helped me was ibuprofen. That started helping me randomly, but through the years, as I got immune to it and it went away. What also helped me was hot baths, so I'd always lay in the hot bath and that would help my pain go. But pretty much got to the point where I was always in tears and I'd have to just sleep it off. So years went by on my period and I didn't really know what to do. I was just over the pain at that point. So I was talking to my friends and they were like, you should go on the pill. And I was not sexually active or anything, so I was like, oh, I don't know if I want to go on the pill. And they were like, no, just go on it. It's going to help pain. So I told my parents, and I was like, Mum, I want to go on the pill. I just want to get this pains gone. So I went on my first pill, which was Levlen. And Levlen, all my pain was gone. Completely gone. Like, it was mind-boggling for me to be like, where's my pain gone? But side effects came about, and my biggest side effect was I was very emotional, and by emotional I was sad. I was real sad, but then when I was angry, I was so angry. And I've never, like, I'm a very nice person. I don't get into fights with people and I don't yell at people if I don't need to, but I was yelling. So I went back to my doctor and I was like, look, I want to change pills. I can't do this like fighting thing. Like, I don't want my emotions to be changing like this often, like get me off it. So I went to my second pill, and I don't remember because this was like years ago. I am now 24, so this was years ago. This was like at least 10 years ago when I was changing the pill. That one, my pain all came back, so I was like, nope, straight away get off it. And they kept saying, yes, Sarah, it takes a couple months for the things to work. I was like, no, I don't care. Like, if Levlen can get rid of my pain straight away, I want a pill that does that, you know? So I tried a different pill after that, didn't work. And then it got to the point where I stayed on that pill for a while, trying to see if it would take a couple months for my body to get into work. It didn't. And I was really bad at taking the pill. So I was like taking it one this day and then forgetting it. And I felt like I was stuffing my body up by doing that. So I was like, stuff this. I'm not even going to take the pill anymore. So I went off the pill for about a whole year. And then I still wasn't sexually active, and then when I started becoming sexually active, like I was like, okay, I just need extra protection, so I'm just gonna go back on the pill. Went back on the pill and went back on Levlen because I was like, now stuff this. I'm gonna get this pain away, and I'm gonna I don't care if I'm emotional or not. So I went on that, and also Levlen helped me clear my skin heaps. But Levlen now, well, then when I went back on it, made me have pimples. Emotions were still there. And my pain was still there. So I was like, how does my pain come back on the medication, which the pain may go away? So I was a bit confused with the pill. And again, I started taking it on and off again. So I was like, nah, stop this. And the guy I was seeing at that point, we stopped seeing each other. So it's fine. And then my now boyfriend, so me and my boyfriend been together for 3 years. I did start taking the pill again, but it was stuffing it up. And it was playing more in my mind going, oh my God, if I miss my pill, I'm going to get pregnant. So I stopped it. I was like, no, let's not do this. This should be really careful and use condoms. That's it. So to this point of my day, we've been together for 3 years in August. So leading up to where we are now, my pain did decrease heaps. Like, I don't know why, it's just maybe me growing up. My pain kind of went away. It was here and there in like big bursts of pain, but my pain wasn't horrific. When I had my pain, I never really thought when I was younger, but it was when I was ovulating, and then when a couple days before my period, and then normally the day of and the day after I would have pain, and then everything would be fine. So someone told me, go get tested for endometriosis. And my mum, I think, was telling me as well, and my friends was telling me, and I was like, I don't want to. And this was before I was sexually active. So I was nervous to go get like a test done, and I had to do like internal ultrasound. I was just a bit weird. So I didn't get that done. I remember going to the doctors asking about it. They gave me like the form to go bring it to the doctors, like to the place where they do the ultrasounds, and then I just held it in my hands and said, no, I'm not doing this, and then I went out and I just did not do it. And then my pain came back really, really horrific, and it got to bad, really, really bad, to the point where I remember I was at work, and I worked as a barista at that time, and I was by myself in the cafe, and I had I think 10-hour shift by myself. I was only 2 hours into the shift, and I remember feeling a bit of pain on my way to work, but I was like, it's fine, like it doesn't come. If the pain doesn't come by now, it won't come. So I was at work, and it just got like horrific, and I was like pacing back and forth, like back and forth, back and forth. And I was like, no, and the pain gets so bad, like you hyperventilate. So it was like that. And that's like, I walked to like the front desk, because it was really quiet at that time, and I was like, hey, do you guys have anything stronger than Panadol to give me? And they were like, no, we don't. And then they're like, oh, we'll get the first aid person. So the lady came in, and she looked at me, and then I bawled my eyes out. It was very embarrassing, and I cried in front of the whole cafe, and they closed the cafe for me, and they walked me out to first aid, and I was just horrific in pain. That's when I said, let's go get tested. So I went to my doctor, and she straight away said, okay, let's go get tested for endometriosis. We'll get your ultrasounds done. But normally with those ultrasounds, sometimes they can't see anything. So we'll see, and we'll get you to a specialist. And I thought that would take ages because I'm in public health, I'm not private. So it took me I got my ultrasounds done within that week. I had to make an appointment. They couldn't see anything. So we had my specialist appointment. So we went to my specialist appointment, and that took about 3 months to finally get in. And I basically went in, and she asked me all these questions, and I said, well, this is this, and this is my pain for this. And she's like, well, what we think you do think it's endometriosis. So there's 2 options we can do. She's like, we can give you I think it was like a pill or something that did something. You have to wait to see if you got rid of pain or whatever, or that's if you don't have endometriosis or something that she can do, or we can go for the surgery, the laparoscopy surgery, whatever it's called. And if it's anything's there, we can get it out. We can also pop a marina inside you, which is the contraceptive thing, and then we'll see how we go. What's your option? Like, well, what do you want to do? And I said, I would rather do the surgery, because if it is it, at least I did the surgery first, like I don't mind. And instead of waiting months doing this thing with the pill and then that not working, having to do the surgery, right? Oh, sorry, that's my dog. She's very tired. Oh. Anyway, so surgery came around. How long did I wait? They put it as a category 2. And I thought my surgery would take ages being category 2. So I was category 2, and I got a phone call within 3 weeks. And no, actually it was 2 weeks, legit 2 weeks. I got a phone call, and I expected it to take longer. But they were like, no, we actually want you to come in for your surgery on Friday. And I was like I have work, and I'm a beauty therapist and I have clients all day. Like I can't just go off, like I told my manager about this before, that I'm going to be having my surgery, so she knew that. But I was like, can I just have a couple more days just so I can we can figure everything out, and my annual leave and like anything like sick leave that I need to do, like can we do it? Because I got the call on I think the Monday, and that was the Friday, and I was not going into work on the Tuesday or Wednesday, and I saw my manager on Thursday. So there's no point, I can't go in on Thursday, not come in the Friday for 2 weeks. So we get to the Tuesday. So I had an extra 1 to 4 days of work, so we can figure things out. Anyway, so that happened. I was really, really excited. But I was nervous. I was starting to get a bit nervous. I've had 4 other surgeries before. I was fine. I've come out completely fine at every single one, except my laparoscopy. So let's get into my laparoscopic surgery now, I guess. So while this is all going on, this is my surgery has happened throughout COVID-19, coronavirus. I was very, very lucky to have my surgery on the last day that anything that was not category 1 could go ahead, and I was category 2. So I was the last day. So I remember going in really early that day, about 7:15 in the morning. By 8 o'clock, I think it took, no, bit just before 8 o'clock, 8 or 7 something, I was into pre-admission. Then on my paperwork, now this is the big thing about, I was worried about my surgery. I could not find any information about this anywhere. I was going into my surgery on my period. Yes. I had called up multiple people. It actually took a while to get into contact with someone just to ask these questions because I was freaking out. Like, what do I do? Do I have to prepare something? Do I not have to have, can I not have the surgery on my period? Everything was answered eventually for me. Basically, you can go on your period. When I went in, I was wearing just a pad, and then I went in and they gave me disposable underwear with a pad, and I just told them while I was there that I am on my period. You still have to do a pregnancy test through pre-admission, so I have to do that because you never know what could happen. I got all my little wrist things, everything was done, the gown was on, and I was ready to go. This point I was getting really nervous. I used to be really okay with needles. All my other surgeries I've been, actually my last surgery before this, I was a bit nervous about my needle going into my hand, but I don't know. I was a bit fine with needles, but now I'm freaking out about them. So I was in the room, they were doing it, and I just had to look away, like, just do the freaking needle. There was a guy who I think was training to do the anesthesia nurse thing. So remember I was in that room for maybe about 10-ish minutes. They were setting up the surgery room. So I went in and they had the mask on me. I just didn't like it. I didn't like the smell of that rubber, and I just felt like even though it was oxygen, I couldn't breathe properly. Sorry, this might be a long video. I don't even know, but anyway, I remember that feeling of when they inject the stuff, and it's like that like really cold, like salty water like sensation that you can taste it. That goes in. I remember next thing I wake up. Now, I normally wake up for my surgeries. The only thing, I'm doing completely fine. The only thing that hurts my is like my throat. And every surgery I've woken up from, I've always said, I just want water. That's all I say is, I want water, I want water, I want water. So I come into this surgery and I'm very, very out of it. Like I'm just like sitting there. Like I was in the little room that they take care of you after you wake up. And they were like, okay, we're going to take you to the other room now so you can get better and you can stay, then you can get ready to go home. And I was like, what? But I'm going home. And then I was like, maybe they didn't find anything. At that point, I was like freaking out, like maybe they didn't find anything. And that was my biggest worry because I didn't want to go into the surgery and come out and saying, nope, there's nothing there. You just have painful periods. And that was it. So they wheeled me out and I'm still out of it. And I just kept wanting to go back to sleep. My eyes kept closing and everything. My mum wasn't there to pick me up. My boyfriend was working. So I was just sitting there like out of it. And I kept trying to sleep. And then the doctor came in. And he was like, okay, so we found some endometriosis. We've gotten rid of it all. Do you have any questions? And I was so nauseous then. I was like, no. I was legit. I put my hand and said, no. And I wouldn't talk to him. And because I just wanted to chuck, basically. I was so sick. I've never come out of surgery like that before. And they asked that before you go into surgery. So I called the nurse. The nurses were beautiful. And I was like, I just feel, she's like, do you feel okay? And I was like, no, I feel really sick. So she gave me something in my IV to help that. It didn't work. Then I got real sick. I said, no, I still feel really sick. So she gave me something else. And then my mum came in. And I remember having like the vomit bag. And my mum came in and she was looking at me. My mum recorded me. So if I have any footage of her recording me, I'll put it in now.
This is memory, Sarah. She's really sick. Oh, poor baby. Don't worry, you'll be fine.
So that was me coming out of surgery. I had my little vomit bag. I ended up nearly vomiting, but I feel like it was this gas and I was like burping gas up or something. And then she gave me more stuff, and at that point I was still really tired. But the only thing I kept saying, which it might be in the video you just saw, was me saying, I want to go home. When you're really out of it and you just want to go home, you want to lay down into your own bed. That's what I wanted to do. And I don't know why I didn't stay the night. I think maybe because of this COVID situation, but I didn't stay the night. So pretty much it was fine. I got up. I was still really out of it and sick when they let me go, which is surprising. I remember getting up, having to help me at the bed, and I looked down at the bed and it was just blood. I had no underwear on anymore. It was just blood on the bed. And I was like, okay. So I had a pad ready already. I put it in my bag. So I popped that back on and put my clothes on, and then they wheeled me out in a wheelchair because I was really out of it. Sat in the car, and then my mum needed to go to the shop, so I just slept in the car for like 30 minutes while she went shopping, and then we went home and I fell asleep. So now this is after my surgery. I wake up after my little nap. My boyfriend gets home. I'm fine. Like, I was like, this is not as bad. Like, I don't know what stage I'm at. I still don't know what stage I'm at, but like, I'm fine. Like, I'm not in any pain. I was walking around. My sister and my boyfriend were like working out in the backyard. I was like being the timer, and I was just sitting. I was a bit like hunched over, but it was nothing. Like, I felt fine. The next day though, oh my God, it was horrific. I remember laying down in bed, having to try and twist my body over to sleep. It was the worst. I woke up and it was horrific. The gas, you could just, I don't even know how to explain the gas. So when you have your laparoscopic, they blow into your stomach, basically gas. And then I wasn't that bloated or anything. I was a bit bloated, but not bad. But you just feel it like pain, and you feel like it builds up and it goes into your shoulders, and it's like piercing, like absolute piercing pain. I had heat packs on me the whole day on my stomach, my back, and I got heat packs that you stick on to your skin once they come out into air, they get really hot. But before I bought those, I was just using normal like heat packs. Like hot water bottles. And I remember sitting on the couch, like I was on like this is like the corner of my couch, and I was sitting here, and my boyfriend was here, and the pain just intensified like so bad. I had no medication after surgery. They just told me, take Panadol and Nurofen, you'll be fine. It was horrific. I was in tears, hyperventilating. Like, I was like messaging my friend who had stage 4, and I was like, was this it like for you? And like, she's like, no, they should have gave you something stronger. So I messaged, I told my boyfriend, I was like, look, you need to take me to the fucking doctors straight away. I don't care that like this COVID situation going on, they have to take me in. So I went to the doctors, and I went there, and I stopped crying. I had tissues in my hair, and they asked me what was wrong at the front, in front of everyone. And I was like, look, I just had a surgery. And then I started bawling my eyes out, and it was so embarrassing. And I was like, I'm like in horrific pain. Please, please, please. Like, I just got out of surgery, so you need to give me something stronger. So they took me to this lady straight away, and this doctor gave me codeine. But she's like, you have to be careful because codeine it makes you constipated. I was like, I don't care. With the codeine, I was like, I don't care. Give me whatever. So I took the codeine. That did help. Like, once again, I passed out from the pain, just slept. And I was pretty much okay that day. I took the codeine twice in that day, within the recommended time. But then the next day came. And I was still walking around, because they always tell you to walk around with the surgery because you don't want to be sitting for long. You want to, it like helps healing process. So I decided to walk around, and I went to, I'm pretty sure it was the third day, I went to the shop with my mum. I was gonna walk, I want to hold on to like the trolley and just walk around. Now with walking, I was pretty much hunched over, pretty much like this the whole time for a couple of days. It was just very stiff, your stomach. After I went shopping, I went into the car, and I don't know if it was just the bumps in the road or something, but the gas built up again, and it was the same pain as the day before, and I became a mess. Like, I was crying, I was screaming, like, get me home, and I just had the heat packs. So I got those stick-on ones when I was at the doctor's the day before. I put them straight on my back, got my heat packs, put my heat packs there, everything. And I just lay down in bed and relaxed, because that's the only thing I could do. I'll also show you a video which I did before of my scarring, of what it looked like. Within a couple of days, I could take off my wraps, like they were on my thing, within 24 hours, and then I had a shower. But I'll show you now what they look like. This is I had one here. That's my belly button at the moment. It's gone down heaps swelling wise. Then we have one here. That's my other one, which to be honest, think looks infected, but I don't want it to do, so I'm gonna talk to my doctor tomorrow. But because of the corona stuff, I have to do a phone call for my doctor. So Can I send her a picture? I don't know. And then I've also got one more, which is just a bit lower, which is just through there. These are still a bit sensitive at the moment. Now they do look a bit red. So I thought they were infected, but I didn't have an appointment to do a checkup for a week. So it's like, they're fine, not hurting or anything. So I'll just wait to go to the doctors. And when I went to the doctors within a week, I called up because it was the COVID situation, and I was like, I think they are maybe a bit infected, a bit red. And then she's like, just come in and we'll have a look. So we went and had a look, and she's like, okay, they are infected. So they just cleaned it up for me, gave me some antibiotics, and I took those, and then we're all better. So I can show you now officially, what day are we? So we are over 4 weeks my surgery. So it's been a month my surgery. I will show you what my scars look like at the moment. So I had one eye belly button, which is, I don't know if you can see, guys, but it's still a bit yuck. I also have one here, which is getting better and better. And I also have one just a bit lower, which is right there, and it's getting better as well. They are still a bit red. I don't really know if I should go get them checked out again, to be honest. They don't hurt or anything, so as long as they're not hurting, it should be fine. But I'm going to tell you one of the most annoying experiences I had with this surgery. So with this surgery, I was in a lot of pain. The pain pretty much went after that week. I didn't go to the bathroom for over a week. I just didn't feel like I needed to or anything, but that's expected after the surgery. But I also had a really horrific pain one day. So I was walking my dog, which is, everyone in the house is like, just sit down and relax because you don't know how bad it is. I was walking my dog with my boyfriend, and we were like throwing the ball back and forth at our park, and I just had like a really horrific like cramps, and I fell to the ground. And I've never like fallen to the ground with cramps before, but I fell to the ground, and I just stood like, I was like sitting there like, oh my god, this hurts. And then I got up, I was fine. I went to like see him, and I sat on the swing, and I couldn't get up because it was paining again. I was about 5 minutes after, and then we walked back to his house, which was another like 5 minutes, and pain again dropped. So he's like, all right, let's go to your house, go get the codeine, and let's take the codeine. So this would be the only third time I took the codeine, because it does make you constipated. I didn't want to take it much because I did want to go to the toilet. Anyway, it was just not right. When I got to my house, my boyfriend put the kettle on straight away to give me a hot water bottle. He gave me the codeine, took the codeine, and I went to the toilet. Didn't help me. Then I fell into the ground, and I was just in pain. Like, I was hunched over in pain. And then my boyfriend wasn't doing the hot water bottle right. So I tried to stand up to get it, and then again I just collapsed to the ground. Like, I was like, no, you have to hold it, and I could not stand. So I don't know if this pain was normal. They said because of the pain to come in to an appointment. So I went in to talk to my doctor, and we decided to do an ultrasound, and they did find a cyst on my left ovary. I'm not sure if that's from the pain it's from, because sometimes ovary, like cysts on ovaries, you don't get any symptoms or anything. But that is where I'm at right now. I have to wait 2 months after that first ultrasound for my ovary cyst, because they have to see if it changes or anything. But it wasn't there before my surgery. Now I have it. But yeah, that's where I'm at right now. I've had up and down through my surgeries. I have been having cramps pretty much every day since my surgery. I was bleeding a bit after my surgery. Right today, I'm actually not bleeding much at all, like nothing. But I was pretty much consistently bleeding just a bit throughout the probably after a week after the surgery. But yeah, that is my endo surgery story for now, where I'm at. I still don't know technically what they found. I do have a sheet that tells me they found it on my left pelvic wall. They took some biopsies or other things that were clear of any cancers or pre-cancer, and also pouch of Douglas. But I don't think it was, I think it may be stage 1 or 2, but because of what's going on in the world right now with this COVID, my appointment is in 2 months with my specialist, and she's going to run me through everything. But it's a phone conversation, which I'm hoping, because I live in Melbourne at the moment, hoping that this situation is stopped by that 2-month mark, and I can go in and speak to her, because I really don't know what's going on. I don't know how bad it was. I don't really know anything about it. So that's what's really annoying. But other than that, that's my story. I might make some more videos, see how we go throughout if I find anything more out. But follow me for more stories or more fun times with Sarah.